Brian and I'm going to bring him on screen here. Brian, welcome. How are you?
Hey, Liz. Doing well. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Brian and I had a great opportunity to get to know each other a few weeks ago on a demo that we did for Event Leadership Institute. And really like what you guys are doing. It's a little bit different than your typical virtual platform. And ironically, a little similar to what we're doing more with StreamYard right now.
Yeah.
Our policy is to not use anything that's being showcased on the day, just because, of course, that would be, everyone would want that. But I would love for you to share Shoflo, because just in terms of quality, definitely we're talking about better than what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to let you kind of tell everyone about Shoflo, what you guys do, and then I'll jump back in. I'm going to share your slides and then just let me know, when you want me to advance them, and then I'll be back.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. And
Sure.
Thank you for the opportunity to jump in and share. You and Jenny have been great in setting this up, so it's been fun. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher level than the product that you were referring to there, Liz, which is our newest product called Shoflo Studio, and talk about Shoflo as a whole, because we've got actually 3 different tools that I think would be interesting to your followers. Really anybody that's producing any sort of live or even virtual, whether it's in real life or a virtual event. And so we'll talk through the 3 of these. The first one is, well, I guess I should say Shoflo, we're based out of Orlando, Florida. We've been around for about 8 years providing software to the live event market, to production agencies, to corporations, freelancers, people that are producing live events. If you want to jump into the next slide, we are really a platform. A lot of people say they're the all-in-one platform. What we mean by that is we're the platform for the people that are producing the event. So whether you're live streaming, building a run-up show, teleprompting, those are our 3 products. So we'll jump in on each of those and get into the details here. So we can jump into the first one. We'll start with Studio. So Studio is a real-time live streaming platform. You can invite in multiple users to collaborate on your live streams. And the goal is to improve the production value of whatever the content is that you're sending out to your attendees. So this is our newest tool that really is going to replace typically a webinar software or a Zoom, where you want to get a little bit higher production value. You can bring in up to 25 presenters into the backstage and then present up to 10 live presenters on camera. One of our strong suits is that experience, bringing in the presenters. So I'll touch on that here in a second. The goal, though, is a very easy to use tool. There's tools out there like vMix that you basically have to be a streaming engineer or live video director in order to know how to use those things. And then there's on the lower end, there's the Zoom or the Microsoft Teams. And so we wanted to find something that was in between, similar to like what we're using today, StreamYard, to increase the production value, but still be a tool that anybody can pick up and create really good live stream content. So really digging in on some of the features, you can upload backgrounds. We also have a gallery of really cool looking backgrounds that you can use. You can also upload any of your overlays and lower thirds. So those are bugs or the logo that you see up in the top right, or a live bug up in the top left. Those are the sort of things that you can really get customized with to create that brand experience that that your clients might want. Virtual presenters, the process that they get invited in is super easy. You just send them a link. And then they're going to type in their name. There's no user account or anything like that for the presenter. The goal for that is to make it super easy, because it's oftentimes the case where the presenters aren't the most tech savvy. And so we wanted to give them a really clean experience to be able to turn their cameras on, their microphone, give the director, whoever's creating the content, the ability to communicate directly with those presenters over chat and audio. And so that's a really strong suit of ours. Another strong suit of this platform is the media playback. This is a cloud-based software, so there's no downloads. And because of that, it's not going to be reliant on your internet connection. it's all going to be computed in the cloud. Even if you were to lose internet connection, the stream would go on. And because it's a multi-collaborative real-time environment, you can have multiple people, other producers, maybe there's a graphics operator, and they're collaborating on the content with you. And if you lose internet, somebody else can jump in and pick up, and the attendees wouldn't be any of the wiser. So video playback, you can upload video assets, image assets, audio assets, and then easily play those back. And then in terms of getting this stream out, where does it go? That can go really to any virtual event platform. So I know that there's been a few on today. You can send those to also social media platforms as well. And so you can have multiple destinations. You can stream out to really any place that you want to with ease. So that's the studio platform, our newest tool, one that we're most excited about right now. If we want to jump over, I think the next one is Rundown. So this is really focusing in more on the pre-production side as well as pulling off the live event. So if you're not familiar with a rundown, what that is, sometimes it's referred to as a cue sheet, cue to cue, run of show. This is basically an agenda that itemizes out the live aspect of the session with very fine detail, down to the minute, down to the second of what's going to take place in that. So you come in, you start typing in, that the doors are going to open or the show's going to start at this time. You can put in the time of day and then the duration, and then that's going to just automatically calculate all your times down the entire show. If things change on the fly, maybe you're running 3 minutes late or 30 seconds late, we have a flagship feature called show caller tracking, which allows whoever's calling the show to broadcast to all the users that are in this document where they're at in the document. And then that's going to automatically update your times as you go. So you'll always know how, what we call heavy or light you are, or ahead of schedule or behind schedule you are in that document. So the rundown is a very powerful tool if you're creating live presentations and you want to itemize those out. The next slide would be our prompter. The prompter solution is a couple years old. We've equipped this in light of the pandemic, knowing that a lot of presenters are actually remote. And so this is really cool. If you have talent or a speaker that needs to read, the way this works is you can add in the content in our software and then send the talent a link. And then that's going to turn their computer monitor into a prompter that is controlled remotely by a different, what's called a prompter operator. So that person would be able to control their scroll. Everything is real time in this as well. So if the talent in rehearsals is saying, actually, can you change this out? They can do that, and those updates will appear on their screen in real time without them actually having to edit the content. So really cool feature. This is deeply integrated with our Rundown software, and we're going to be rolling out an integration with this on the studio side as well, so that when you invite presenters in, they're going to start sharing their camera, their microphone, their speakers, and then they'll see their prompter right there, right below their camera on their screen, so they can just read off of that. So we're really excited about the integrations between our three products as well. So next slide, I think, is, use cases. So anybody that's producing any sort of live event, so whether it's virtual or in person, webinars, online training, internal meetings, corporate event production. We have a lot of sports customers that use this for live game presentation, house of worship as well. So it kind of spans the whole gamut there. And then lastly, who's using it? We've got a lot of big customers, TEDx events, NASA, a lot of sports teams, as I mentioned. So I think that's probably it. I think the next slide is like where can you check us out? You can go to shoflo.tv. That's our website. Anybody can sign up for a free trial. We don't require credit cards or anything like that. And you can play around with each of these three softwares for 2 weeks to really explore. And then we've got customer success and support people there to answer your questions as you're in the app as well. So I think my time is up, Liz.
That was awesome. I think this stuff is so important to think about. It's the production side of things that you can have, all the bells and whistles in terms of, the networking and a lot of things that we've talked about today. But if everything is running late, or your speakers are clearly looking off the screen, the stuff really matters. I see Lynn Edwards. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for joining us today. She says she loves Shoflo. Carolyn says she loves the teleprompter integration. Another user says they love that prompter feature. I think that feature is really interesting. Well, all of the features are interesting, but I know, that teleprompter feature integrated with the other pieces of the platform are really, really helpful. I mean, it's one thing to have a teleprompter. It's another to have it integrated with these other pieces. So that's awesome.
And the prompter is something too that's helpful during live, but also for pre-records. We hear that a lot of talent or speakers, they don't want to go live when they're doing these things. So pre-recording is a really big thing. We actually have a recording feature in our studio where you can just hit record and then you stop it, and that creates a clip that you can load up as a media asset for playback when you are live. So you can on the fly do a mix of your pre-records and live. And so that prompter feature can be super helpful too if you're just trying to record a video.
That's awesome. I see that Patricia says her colleagues have been very happy with Shoflo, particularly Rundown. They've been using it for years, so that's awesome to hear. We do have a question from a Facebook user. We get this for every single one. Can you give us a sense of pricing and how does it work with the 3 different products?
Yeah, so our pricing is we're a software as a service, so you can subscribe on a monthly or an annual basis to any of our products. The pricing page is on our website, so check us out, shoflo.tv. The studio starts at around $50 a month. The rundown starts at around $95 a month, and that's with the prompter as well. And so that's where you're at from a pricing standpoint. We try to really lower the barrier there so that people that are doing even small events can jump in and subscribe.
Yeah. This is huge. What about, I was just about to ask this question, Wendy got to it first. What about the prompter feature or all of your products being integrated with virtual platforms, or how does it all piece together best in your experience?
Yeah, it depends on how tech savvy you are, I guess. I mean, oftentimes what we hear for integrating prompter is, can you integrate it into other hardware? So we do have features within the prompter to be able to flip the screen horizontally, or mirror it rather, which if you're using like a presidential or something, that because it's being reflected on glass, it does that. So it does integrate well with other hardware. So I hope that's the question.
And then what about, let's say they're using, Zoom, but they want to be able to track their run of show and they want to be able to use the teleprompter. Is that something that they can integrate, or how does the two work together? Yeah,
I mean, you could bring in the the beautiful thing about the prompters, you can send that link to anybody and to as many people as you want to. And so you could bring it in as a screen share or something like that in Zoom, but really it doesn't need to be. It would have better performance if you were not using it in a screen share fashion, just because of the frame rates on things.
I think the products that you're talking about today are, music to an event professional's ear. They're doing this. Admittedly, I constantly have done this in Excel, and then the document's outdated and you're trying to pair that with a timer. I mean, it just makes so much sense. I myself will start using it for our clients for sure. So I'm really excited to learn more about and how this all pairs together. Because when you and I talked, it was definitely more about the studio, but seeing the prompter and all of these pieces working together is so critical.
Yeah.
And so I'm so glad that we got to see that today. Even it's like education for me.
Yeah, we're excited about the integration between Rundown and Studio, because you'll be able to preset scenes or looks for your live stream, and then map those to a particular item in your Rundown. And then essentially, as you hit the space bar and track from item to item, that could actually trigger different looks in your studio, which will be pretty cool as well.
Now, I get this question a lot because people know I use StreamYard or whatever they're using. Do you offer services to help people figure out, like, the first one that they're doing, how to run it all and make it work together? Or is this something that they would partner with somebody else for?
Yeah, I think that the professional services is a good one. We work with a ton of production agencies, so we can refer you out to people, even if it's just a freelancer that you want to like hire them for a day rate or something like that.
Sure.
And then we use a chat feature inside the application, and our customer success team is awesome. They will jump on a call with you and talk through your live stream workflow in areas even that don't pertain to where Studio is being used. So in live streaming, there's the upflow, the downflow, or the upstream, downstream. And so we're well versed in all that stuff because we eat our own dog food is what we say. We use these tools ourselves when we're doing our own webinars, and we do a 10-minute Tuesday every Tuesday at lunchtime to talk through a different aspect of production. So we're there to help if you have questions on your live streaming stuff.
That's awesome. And where can people tune into this Tuesday thing that you just mentioned?
You can go to shoflo.tv/live, I believe. Or if you sign up for a free trial, you're automatically invited into something called Shoflo Backstage, which is our own forum of all of our users where they can have discussions around different production topics, discussions around different aspects of our software. And so we also live stream it to our Backstage, and I believe to Facebook as well. So go and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can check it out there as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for offering all this value, not only in the product and the service, but in the education as well. I know planners really are looking for that. So I hope everyone checks it out.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brian, so much for your time. I'm encouraging everyone right now to go to shoflo.tv, check out their 14-day free trial. I mean, this is really accessible pricing, so you don't really have an excuse to be using Excel anymore, myself included. So we're going to get us all shifted over, and hopefully you'll have lots of new techsytalk users very soon.
Cool. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Jenny. This has been fun.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.